You know, I started TribFish a couple of years ago because I felt like the tribulation was on us. This is like in 2020, I guess more than a couple of years ago. Right after all the stuff that went down that didn't smell right to me. So I said, man, it's here. Tribulation is here. So I started TribFish. And I still think it's coming. It might get slowed down this year, maybe, if things go right. But there's people in sheep's clothing that come to you going, oh, no, we wouldn't do that. We're not going to take your guns. We're not going to do all this stuff. And people are falling for it. There's a lot of folks falling for that. And they're always saying, you know, that guy over there, he's going to, you know, that guy over there or over there, wherever he's at, he's a threat to democracy. Well, those people that are saying that, their type of democracy is the kind where if you have 1,000 people in the room and 600 of them want to eat you for lunch and they vote on it, then guess what? You're the next meal. That's the kind of democracy they're talking about. That's why our founding fathers set us up in a representative republic. So even people with the less voice can get actual justice and not feel threatened by the mob. That's what we saw with the Emancipation Proclamation and everything else. Those were a minority of people that were being held as slaves. And there were some people, you know, that had them that were saying, it's none of your business. It's the same thing with abortion. There's people that say, it's none of your business, you know, but there's people that stands up for human rights, whether they're a minority or a majority. And I'm not going to get into any of the race stuff and how there's only one race, the human race. I've gone over that. Go see some of my other videos. But the thing is, we are in tribulation, I believe. I think we are in tribulation. And it's coming. It's coming. Maybe not as fast as it was if we're lucky. But be prepared and talk to your friends, especially the ones that aren't paying attention. These people telling you that, oh, we wouldn't do that. Look at their background. Yes, that's what they're doing. They're wolves in sheep's clothing. That's about all I have to say. I had posted something else, another video about truth today, and truth is better given to you now than later. And I'm telling you the truth. Economics is the main thing that controls a lot of what goes on in this country and all around the world. And that's what the people that want to control everything, the Marxists, the communists, the socialists, they want to control everything, and they have to do it through economics. Now, their economics isn't the economics that I learned in school, where supply and demand. Their economics is them controlling everything and giving you whatever they think you need, and then if they can't take care of you, then they can get rid of you. You know what I mean? It's happened, I think 100 million people have been killed by communists in the last 100 years. Okay, I will concede and say I don't have the exact numbers, but at least 50 million. I would say it's more. I think I heard the other day, though, it's over 100 million people have been killed by communists and since like, maybe it's over 100 years. Maybe it started in like 1900s or late 1800s. I'm not for sure about the numbers. I just know it's a lot. It's a lot. And they start by taking your guns. They start by taking your freedoms and your guns and taking your means of production and not letting you have businesses and telling you to shut up and quit talking about things. Don't tell your neighbors about this. Tell on your neighbors if you have to. That's how it all begins. They take away all your freedoms, especially your guns. And then what are you going to do? Really, what are you going to do? You can't let that happen. Folks, you cannot let that happen. I don't care what somebody says. Look at their actions. You know, look for the fruit from their tree. There's plenty of videos of people now walking around going, oh, we won't ever do that. We want to take your guns and stuff. There's plenty of videos where they're saying, I think we need to take that. I think you don't need that. Blah, 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 blah. You got me? So be very careful. Make sure you're voting freedom first. Freedom can get us a long way down the road compared to somebody that's willing to take it from you. They don't care about you and me. You understand? They are working for the people that put them into power, the people that control the money. I can get into all kinds of other things, and I will later, but this today is what I'm getting into. Be very careful and make sure you can recognize wolves in sheep's clothing, because they're coming for you and me. And they think we're too stupid to be able to distinguish what they are. So don't be blind about how you vote or anything else. Think about it. Look at what they have said. Do your research. Understand that economics means that there's got to be freedom in the market. There has to be freedom to sell. There has to be, see, a lot of these regulations are set up to give favors to people that give donation money. So it makes the bar a lot higher for small businesses to come into a market. That's why you don't see as much competition. We used to have monopoly laws, but nowadays you see all kinds of businesses that are almost in a monopoly. I mean, like, you know, I don't even name them here because I'll probably get shut down. But there's plenty in the tech industry and everything else. They pretty much have a monopoly. There's very few players in the food market. There's very few players in the banking market. I mean, oh yeah, you see all these little bitty banks, but they're all owned by one person. There's one big conglomerate that's talking about a rock that's real dark, owns about at least a good portion of shares in every business. And then you got the Federal Reserve that prints our money and is enslaving us. It's all part of a Cloward-Piven strategy where you overwhelm the system and then somebody's got to come in and save the day. It's funny how politicians create all the problems and then they come in with their big solution to fix it, and it never works. Otherwise, why in the heck are we 35 trillion plus in debt? For all these people that are managing and everything so well, why are we $35 trillion in debt? Why? How could that be? Especially when they're able to enrich themselves, you know, from $175,000, $200,000 salary a year to multi-millions. Look at the former speaker. I think she's worth, I don't know how many, $129 million now? You don't make that kind of money off of a salary of $200,000. You don't make that kind of money off of a salary of $1 million a year. Really? You know, you can make some investments, and believe me, they know how to make their investments. That's been in the stories too. But okay, I'll quit ranting. Be careful. Watch out for the wolves in sheep's clothing. TribFish out.
We will not sleep, we will be changed in a twinkling